Microsoft's new insane CoPilot AI will change your work life forever in ways that previously felt like they were years away, but turns out in reality, they're happening like today. If you haven't heard, Microsoft just held a live event where they unveiled their latest AI CoPilot, and it's a combination of large language models like chatgpt, Microsoft's data, and Microsoft's suite of 365 apps. This includes everything from Word to Excel to even Teams. We're going to talk about that one last. It's definitely the most exciting, so stick around for that one because it's really cool. And the first thing that they announced kind of indirectly is the first time that people that aren't quite technology savvy are going to have access to these insane AI tools, since it's going to be in the products that they use every day. It truly is the largest adoption of AI tools to date. And I think this marks a really important point where we're going to see productivity rapidly escalate as these tools become more and more accessible. You know, something like ChatGPT, which my previous video was about, is an insanely powerful tool, but not many people are going to go out of their way to use it. But something like CoPilot or any AI that's baked into the software you already want to use is going to make much more of a difference on a wide scale. And I wanted to get that out of the way first because I think it highlights the importance of the features that we're about to talk about. The first really cool use case was when they showed us CoPilot in Excel. They had a sheet of data and they had CoPilot on the right-hand side. And in CoPilot, what they were able to do was ask it to do various things with the data that would normally take someone who's really good at using Excel to do, but the AI simply did it for them. And on top of being able to just talk to this AI and have it do these advanced functions just by asking it normally, since it uses the same technology, these same natural language models as something like ChatGPT, it can actually keep the conversation going and add to the task that you're doing. With the live event, they asked the CoPilot AI to create a pivot table that showed how sales perform month by month by certain categories in a table. Kind of like an easy thing to do, but just asking it was far easier. Because they could talk to it normally, they then had it do things like predict sales growth based on the data and creating these projected sales growth tables with data that doesn't exist, but the AI projects for you. This was the first real showcase of how CoPilot can speed up the work of professionals. I can just ask CoPilot, hey, make the table that I want, then create a projected table based on this data, then compare them for me, then give me recommendations on how I can get to that point. And CoPilot will not only create all the tables, but also answer my questions in plain English. Very, very powerful, very cool. We then saw CoPilot in email, and this one was my second favorite. Honestly, this might be the one I'm actually most excited for. You know how when you want to keep up with your emails, it's like really tedious. You have to go to unread, you have to read every email, go through all the threads, find out what emails are important or not, sort them into different folders. CoPilot is going to solve all of that for you in really simple to understand ways. Now, instead of sorting through your inbox manually, CoPilot will now scan your entire unread inbox for the day and provide a small little summary at the top that provides all the bullet points of the most important items in your email. At a glance, you can see what was important that was in my inbox. You can then click on that box and you can go to the individual emails that led to those bullet points if you want more context. So now you don't have to waste your time sifting through your inbox, but it goes even further. Say you click on that summary, you go to the email, it's one of the bullet points that you think is quite important. Let's say that email that's quite important is actually a super long email thread, the one that's got like 15 emails in there. And the other thing that email threads do that's really annoying is you have to read from the bottom up. Does anyone else hate that? Because that's like a pet peeve of mine. Instead of needing to read through that entire email thread, now CoPilot will also summarize the entire email thread for you and pull out the pieces of information that you need to know about that email thread so that you know, what is this conversation about? What do I need to address? Just these two features alone are going to save people hours of time. It makes life so much easier and so much more efficient that I can just know my day and I can know email threads. But now let's say we've read through our email thread and now we want to reply to one of the emails. Well, now CoPilot helps you with replying to emails because using that information that it got from scanning the email thread to make that summary, it will now write email replies for you in the same vein as something like ChatGPT 4 would. But instead of needing to ask it to write an email, you literally just click on reply and it will type the email for you with all the context of the thread. And don't be afraid of the AI making a really long email or making the tone really funny or weird, because you can adjust that as well. You can tell it how long you want it to be, what kind of tone you want. And the final thing that was really cool about this reply feature, if you reply to an email thread and you attach a Microsoft document to that reply, the AI will scan the document that you attach to the reply and pull out the necessary information from that document to put it into your reply. So you no longer need to refer to your document, pull it into your reply, and then come up with like summaries based on the information and all that. CoPilot will do it for you in seconds as well. It will do it so fast. It's crazy to me how much more seamless our days at work are going to become and how much less tedious work needs to be done. Now, we got 2 more left. The next one is the use in your calendar. This one was really great for people that care about their time management. You know, when you have 2 meetings that clash throughout the day and you wish you could attend both because both are very important. In the past, you used to just miss the meeting and someone would have to tell you what happened afterwards. But now you can ask CoPilot to attend that meeting for you. And with CoPilot attending the meeting, it will analyze all the written words and all the chat dialogue that people have. And at the end of the meeting, it will create a really, really detailed summary about what happened in that meeting and send it to you. And the detailed summary looks like what I'm showing on the screen right now. It's not just like a couple bullet points like your inbox. It's a very, very detailed and useful summary about what was spoken about in that meeting. You'll literally get video media of the content, a detailed summary, detailed notes, and even a task list that it pulls out from that meeting to add to your to-do list. And if you're not happy with the summary that you got from CoPilot, you can just ask it for more context on specific items in the same way that you'd chat with ChatGPT or a normal human, because, you know, that's how that works, which is really, really cool. And CoPilot will give you those answers for you. And they said 3 certain bullet points about that client, and CoPilot gives you that in your summary. Well, now you can ask CoPilot, hey, you know what? I need you to actually expand more on bullet point 1. What exactly was spoken about in regards to this specific aspect of the client's campaign, for example, if you're a marketer? And CoPilot will give you an even deeper breakdown of everything that happened. This is quite literally the saying, this meeting could have been an email brought to life. CoPilot is making our dreams come true. And now for the big boy, the one that I promised at the start of the video, using it in Teams, more specifically in video calls. And this one was crazy to me. So what are the different things that CoPilot can do in a video meeting? Well, the first one is, let's say you get to a meeting late. Let's say you're 5 to 10 minutes late and you don't want to interrupt other people, but you still want to know what was talked about at the start of the meeting. Well, now instead of interrupting everyone with the fact that you've attended the meeting late, you can just ask CoPilot, hey, what's been talked about so far? And CoPilot will actually give you a bullet list that you can refer to really quickly, just scan it, right? And get this quick understanding of what was talked about in the meeting so far, catch yourself up and join in the conversation exactly as you need. And let's say there's a bullet point in there that you want to know how much they talked about that thing. You can just ask CoPilot, which is great because sometimes, you know, you just can't make it to a meeting, and having something like that is very, very cool. This next one made me question just how powerful AI is. It's more powerful than I thought, surprisingly. But now during a meeting, let's say you have a group meeting, you have 10 people, everyone's, you know, chirping in, everyone's giving their opinion. You can now ask CoPilot, based on the tonation of everyone, what people are saying and what people are chatting about in the video call chat. You can say to CoPilot, how do you think people feel about doing social media for this client? And based on what everyone's been talking about and even what you've missed before, CoPilot can let you know how it thinks people are feeling about it. And then you can ask it for recommendations to change how people feel about it. It looks like AI is able to like understand our tonation and understand how we feel based on that. That's pretty scary actually, but really cool in this use case. And the last thing is, let's say you have like a task list in Teams and you don't know if everything's been addressed. You've talked about a whole bunch of stuff. It's been a 45-minute meeting and you might have 1 or 2 things left that you actually didn't talk about, but you thought you've covered everything. Now you can ask CoPilot, hey, what did we actually miss in this meeting that we were supposed to talk about? And CoPilot will reference all your other chats, your task lists. Let's say you've messaged someone and you said to them, let's talk about this in the meeting coming up. And you haven't even put it in your task list. You've just talked to the person about it. CoPilot will remind you about that conversation and say, hey, you actually needed to talk about the email automation lead nurturing funnel for this client, and you guys didn't talk about it yet. Bang, straight away, cool, thanks so much for reminding me, CoPilot. We were gonna miss that and need to do another meeting, but we can address it now. So that's all the stuff that CoPilot is in terms of Microsoft's tool, but there is one more thing that they announced, and this might be the biggest boost to productivity Microsoft's ever released, and that's their new collaboration tool called Loop. Loop is a collaboration tool similar to when you're using like a Google Doc and you work together on a project, but it's powered by AI. And in the live events example, they had a team of 3 people in a Loop document. And the first member of the team to type into the document asked that the AI pull together a pivot table of the top selling products in a document in their OneDrive cloud. So it referred to a certain document and pulled that data across into that Loop document. Another member then of the team added a relevant column to that pivot table using AI as well, simply by asking it in plain language to do that. To me, this is basically the saying of 2 heads, 3 heads, more heads are better than one, supercharged by AI. I'm very excited to see what this will do for corporations, how this will boost productivity, what kinds of things we'll be able to do now that our days don't need to be consumed by pulling relevant data for collaboration, that we can just collaborate off the fly. Are we going to become more creative? Are we going to be able to get better insights and create better products and better services? Who knows? But Loop is a very cool tool that I would keep a keen eye out for in the corporate space. All of this is a massive, massive revolution to the way that we work, all powered by AI. And this is just version 1. I'm absolutely blown away by what Microsoft showed. I cannot wait to work. I cannot wait to use these tools, streamline my day, and do more of the work that I want to do and take away the tedious work that I don't want to have filling up my time. Part of me wants the AI to stop here and just give us that, let those advancements be made, and not do any more crazy stuff. That's not the way the world works, but I am very excited for version 1. Let me know, what do you think of CoPilot and Loop down below. Thanks for watching the video. We release a new video every week. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you later.